Here are 11 manners that are okay in Japan, but not in other countries. I'm a university student now, and I've been told several times by friends who came to Japan to study that Japanese manners are unique and distinctive, and that they are often surprised at the cultural differences. So today, I'm going to introduce 11 manners that are okay in Japan, but not okay in many countries. Sniffing. While sniffing is considered bad manners in many countries, it is tolerated in Japan. So if you come to Japan, you will see many Japanese people sniffing. We don't think it's wrong when someone sniffs, we just feel that they are sick. However, if someone is sniffing loudly or snot is dripping down their nose, I don't feel like it. Not saying anything even if someone sneezes. In Japan, we don't have a culture of saying something when someone sneezes, so words like bless you do not exist in Japan. So when we go to countries like the US, where people use bless you, we may be misunderstood because of this cultural difference. Covering a sneeze with your hand. We are taught at an early age to cover our mouth with the palm of our hand when we sneeze. This is a very dirty thing to do, isn't it? The spit from your sneeze sticks to your palm, and if you touch something with your hand, you will get spit on it too. Maybe it's purely because Japan doesn't have much of a handshake culture, so people can cover their sneeze with the palm of their hand. Calling the waiter loudly. Many restaurants' tables in Japan have a button on them that you can press to call the waiter. Sometimes, however, there is no button, and you have to call the waiter yourself. When it is noisy in the restaurant, it is common to raise your voice so that the waiter can hear you, but this is against manners in Australia, for example, isn't it? A gesture to call a friend. In Japan, this gesture is sometimes used to call a friend, but in English-speaking countries, it means go away. When I was in junior high school, I had a friend who came to Japan as an exchange student, and I used this gesture to call him over, and I felt bad because I misled him. Slurping noodles. Japanese people often eat ramen, and it is our culture to slurp the noodles when eating. When you slurp the noodles and the broth get well mixed, and you can enjoy the taste of the ramen more. In many countries, it is considered bad manners to make noise while eating, but in Japan, it is basically okay. Eating with a plate. Did you know that rice is a staple food in Japan? When eating rice with chopsticks, the rice often falls off the chopsticks, so we usually hold the bowl to prevent the rice from falling off the table. So in Japan, actually, it is considered rather proper to eat with a plate, but in Korea and China, among other Asian countries, and in many countries around the world, it is a bad manner. Being naked in a hot spring. If you come to Japan and go to an onsen, you will be surprised at this cultural difference. Yes, it is normal to be naked in Japanese hot spring. On the contrary, I've never seen anyone enter hot spring with clothes or bathing suits on. Of course, there are people who do not like to be seen naked by strangers or friends in onsen, so they use towels to cover their important parts. Not to tip. As you may know, there is no tipping culture in Japan, so we don't know what to do with the tip when we are given it. When I used to work part-time at a grocery store, I was once given a tip by a traveler, and I remember being a bit confused because I had never experienced such a thing before. Not to get orthodontic. Japanese people do not have a high awareness of orthodontic treatment. About 20% of all Japanese have orthodontics, but this number is much lower than in other countries. For example, in the US, it is over 50%. Therefore, when you are in Japan, you often see people who do not have beautifully aligned teeth. Of course, it is generally considered better to have well-aligned teeth, but many Japanese people avoid getting braces because the high cost of treatment or because they are embarrassed to wear them. In fact, it is often considered embarrassing to wear orthodontic appliances in Japan. Not to greet store clerks when entering a store. I've heard that in many countries it is common to greet store clerks when entering a store, but in Japan, there is no culture of greeting them. Therefore, it is common practice not to say anything when approached by a clerk. For example, when you enter a store in Japan, you are almost always told "irashaimase" in Japanese, but I've never seen anyone respond to that word. So far, I have introduced 11 manners that are okay in Japan, but not okay in other countries. How did you feel about these cultural differences? I would also like to know the unique manners in your country, so please comment and let me know. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. See you again in my next video. video. Bye!